Hi guys, I'm Official Hord. Welcome to Java programming tutorial. Like you've seen up here in a brief introduction for this tutorial, we are going to be creating a table in our reports. Making reports. So we'll be adding a table today, and we'll be using the class PDF table. It's a class in Java IText Library that allows you to create tables in your reports. Now, what's the essence of creating a table? I mean, everyone would just write his normal report and just make it look like this, where you just write everything basically. But now, a table makes your work more organized and easier, and also lays emphasis on the data you want the user to take note of. For example, if this was going to be a table, we'll be having the class, and we'll be having also the users. Yep. And so now, since we want users to take this more seriously, we're going to say now you see, when a user sees something like this, it knows that okay, adding a table, what class will be used and what are the uses of this class. Now it makes the work look more professional than the regular type in where you just leave it like this and everything just looks clumsy and all that. So today I'll be showing you how to make a table in your reports to get that professional feel. We'll be using the PDF table method in IText Library, so I like you to take note and follow carefully so you don't get mixed and back up. So here we go, PDF table, and we'll call that table because new PDF table. Now after doing this, you have to specify the number of columns you want, or else it would keep giving you this error. As you can see, it says create sorry, that was an error there. PDF table. Alright, so it says no suitable constructor found for PDF table, no argument, list differs in length. Now all this error is just because you've not specified the number of columns you want your table to have. So we're going to leave that at 3, and the error is gone. So in creating a table with PDF table, after using this statement, let me copy this to sticky notes so you know it's emphasized. So after writing PDF table, that is the object type, the object name, new object, and the object is PDF table with 3 columns. So you should not forget this part. Alright, so next up is adding the rows or adding cells. Now in this case we'll be adding cells, not rows. So first things first, we have to add the cells for the cell for the headings, which is item name, quantity, and price probably. So since we've set 3 columns here, we're going to say add table dot add cell. Now this tells the system that I want a cell in this table. So this is the first cell we're adding. Now the cell takes a string character, so if you don't have a double quote here, you should have something saying string this equals this set of strings. So you can just type that name in here instead of using the double quotes. But since we are going to be using the double quotes, you can just type it directly saying item name. And the other way around, you can just say string item name because, and here we type the item name, and here we'll just say item name. Now it's both the same thing, but I prefer the short way around. I don't like stressing myself when I'm coding, so just leave it as this. Item name. So now this is the first cell in our table, so just I like us to first add the table to the document, to the report, before we continue. So just say report dot add table, add element, and that's going to be the table. Yep. If that wasn't the table, you have to type in your table yourself. So if you right click and run file, did I click run file? Yeah, I did. So now every table has a specific number of rows and columns. That is why we have chosen 3 here for the number of columns. You can decide to use 100, you can decide to use 2000, depending on the kind of data and the amount of data you want to hold in the table. So create reports, and I think it's done. So documents and NetBeans project. Where is it? Creating reports. So here, report. As we can see here, report is empty. Why is that? I created a cell, right? What happened? Let's try again. Oh, I think we should add other cells before running it, so that way we won't have this error. Now all you simply have to do is add 2 more cells. You can decide to copy and paste and just edit, or however you like. So item name, and we're going to say quantity, and next is price. So right click and run file, and let's see what we have now. Documents, okay, so there's our table with 3 columns: item name, quantity, and price. Now if you notice, the code didn't work when we used just 1 column instead of 3. When we added just 1 column, the code did not work. So that's one of the issues you might have if you specify a number of columns and at the end of the day you add cells less than the number of columns you've added. That can get really bad, so try to avoid that. So next up, we're going to be doing something. We're going to be adding data to this table. Now the table has 3 cells already, 3 columns, right? So for every 3 cells you add, it moves to a next line. That is the thing about using the PDFP table. Other table methods can actually provide different ways of doing it, but we'll be using this method for now. I might visit the other method in coming tutorials because it's a bit more complex to understand, but for now I'll be treating this simple method so you get to understand easily. Now for every 3 cells you add, it gives you a new line of data. For example, copy this and paste it, and so under item name we're going to say pi boards, and quantity owned by 3 pi boards, and what's the price for that? Let's say 24,000, no, 2,400, and add dollars, or we can just add $sign here. So right click and run file, and let's see the changes we've created. Let's close this, create reports, and open your reports. Now, as you can see, previously we had 1 to 3 only, but we added 3 more by just adding 3 more. If we add 1 more right now and we run again and create because it has been used, create report, that doesn't appear here at all. So I like you to notice that whenever you specify a number of columns, please try not to add data that is less than the number of columns you've added. You add number of cells according to the number of columns you've asked the system to create for you. So that is that about creating a table in your report. To remind you of what we did yesterday about font editing, if you're creating the headers in your table, you can decide to edit the font to make it look better than, or bolder or larger in size than the other cells you'll be adding. So thanks for watching today's tutorial. See you in the next tutorial. Don't forget, we just worked on adding a table to your report using PDF table, and try not to forget this section of code, especially because the moment you forget it, I think it's the depth of your code, right? Oh no, let's not use evil words right now. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.